Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this Pims user community webinar. My name is Svein Tore Haraldseid, and I am the General Manager of Omega PS in Norway. Together with me today, I have Jan Christian Bartos, my partner in crime.
Yes.
And also he is also the executive producer of this webinar. Many exciting things have been happening in Omega the last couple of years, and I'm quite looking forward to sharing this with you. We see that there's actually 200 registered attendees today from all over the world, so this tells me that it's about time to do this webinar.
Yeah.
Of course, it puts a bit pressure on us, but as Jan Christian says, go big or go home, and I have no intention of going home, so I think we just get the show started.
Yes.
Then I think we'll move to the agenda. We will start off with the main attraction of the webinar, and that is the introduction of our Pims user community, and also the release of some presentation videos from our clients. After the introduction of the community, we will take a world tour, visiting some of our offices, Omega offices, and also listen to some interesting Pims stories there. After that, we will be returning to Norway and get some news about our Pims products and the market trends from our Chief Product Officers, Åge and Joni. Finally, me and Jan Christian will do a wrap-up, including a short technology update. Yes, then I think we'll just move to the Pims user community. Many in Omega, including myself, are quite proud of what we have our Pims products and the services that we are delivering to the industry. But also we are very aware of that this is due to the fact that you guys out there are working hard every day shaping a product that is doing it for us. So it's actually your dedication to working with Pims that makes Pims becomes better and better really. And then we have been thinking, how can we help you do an even better job? Because if we can get you and Pims to shine, then we believe that Pims will be a success in the projects. We have seen that, and we think that the answer to that question is actually to have a Pims user community, a digital meeting place for all the Pims fans. We see this as a one-stop shop where you will have all your Pims tools available to solve any challenges that you may have on your project. And we have actually developed some of these main building blocks of this user community, and we are really excited to present these to you today, even if it is early days. Today we will look at our new YouTube channel, the new established Pims Academy, and also Docs, where all Pims related documentation will end up.
And one thing before we continue, so questions can be sent in during the whole session. We'll try to answer at the end if there's time. If not, we will wrap them up, answer them, and send out all of them to all the attendees today.
Good.
Yeah,
very good. And the first element that we will look at is our new YouTube channel. This is where we will have all our videos. There we will find Pims stories about our clients. You will find Pims product introductions, case studies, how-to videos, app news, and also all other relevant material that we see is relevant for you. And also we need feedback from you, what you think you need to do a better job. I think we'll if we go in and have a look on this YouTube channel.
Yeah. So here we have all the videos. If we go into playlists, as Svein Tore mentioned, we have some Pims user stories that we'll shortly present today, but here you have the full content that you can watch afterwards. We have our app frame videos for the technology. We have a live stream every Friday around Pims news, what's in the latest release. Some technical, some more on the product themselves. There are product introductions that you can view for all of the products. So go here and have a look. You can subscribe to the channel, get notification whenever there is a live stream or when there is a new video uploaded.
Good. And when it comes to Pims stories, we are so lucky that we have sporty clients that actually would like to contribute to our user community and that have agreed to share their experiences. And now I will share a 1-minute preview with you out of the new Stavanger University Hospital and its project director, Kari Johansson, that's doing the presentation.
My name is Kari Gro Johansson, and I will explain about the new University Hospital in the Stavanger region. The construction started in 2019, and we are going to move in 2024. All contractors must use Pims 365 for all variation order requests and variation orders. And all technical queries and all deviations are put into Pims. And we are using HSE Reg. We have cost control, we have all the contracts, we have all the reporting, as I said, and also risk management, which actually also is very important, the module in this project. And everybody has their personal site, so you have kind of your own personal, so you can actually mix together what actually suits you best.
Okay, that was a short sneak peek from Kari Johansson and Sykehusbygg. Thank you very much. We also would like to thank Omega Design for the professional production of the videos.
Yep.
And I think we will be moving over to the next step, which is the Pims Academy. The Pims Academy is actually require a login to these courses. And in the site you will find the e-learning courses from which will be based on our products, but this will also be possible to do tailored courses. As part of these courses, we can have slides, we can have questions, quiz in there, and we can also have video sessions and URLs. So together we can build a package.
Yeah, both from the products from Pims that is coming next year, but also tailored for the client's needs.
Yes, so there's not many courses yet. It's just a digital landing page for now, but Q1 2021 we will start releasing product courses. So that's going to be quite exciting, and you will find them on our Omega 365 pages. Yes. Finally, I would like to mention the Pims Docs. This will be our new landing page for all Pims documentation. We have been producing a lot of documentation over the years, but information that has been fragmented and not all relevant documents has been shared with you guys. But now we have a new home for all this documentation. Here you will find user guides, procedures, security-related documents, release notes, and other relevant documents. Again, we need feedback from you here. A lot of documentation has been uploaded here, so you can have a look, but we are also in the process of transferring all our information to this site. So more information will come the next weeks and months to going forward. So these were the 3 main elements in our user community for now. So the question is, where will the future be for the Pims user community? We have actually these main channels in place, but we also see that, for example, the Pims user forum will be an important part of this community, and also news and calendar events. So we see that all Pims news, all events will help you users to find information and be on top of what's happening on Pims. As you see here, we have these elements, but other elements can also be evaluated. And again, here we need feedback from you. That is the whole idea, that we need to interact with you users to find the best way to create this community.
This is building blocks. So we will want to build this with you as the client, and we want the feedback.
Yes, very good. I think this rounds off the introduction of the Pims user community. So now I think we are going to our grand tour around the world, starting off with Øyvind in Houston. Good morning, Houston. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Very good. Yes, loud and clear, Øyvind. I know that you have some exciting news to share with us.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Svein Tore, and thanks for organizing this event. Howdy from Houston, Texas. My name is Øyvind Vik, and I'm the president of Omega in the US. And I just want to give a quick background of our company over here and what we are keeping ourselves busy with. We established our office in Houston back in the days when I still had brown hair, and that was in 2002. And now we serve clients across many different states in the US as well as countries in Latin America. I have a team of 100 employees over here, and together we offer the full range of capabilities that Omega has to offer. So through our consulting division, we can offer experienced professionals that help you execute your projects within project controls, commissioning, quality control, HSE, and many other disciplines. And I also have an outstanding team of Pims software specialists that are here to basically show you how to leverage our integrated Pims solution to drive the right behaviors and results in your projects. So being in Houston, when you look at our client base, obviously our customers are major players in the oil and gas and energy industries, as well as petrochemical, but we also are involved in paper and pulp and renewables projects. And all of them have one thing in common, and that is that they all execute a lot of projects. And we serve both owners and operators, as well as the top companies that are providing their services to them. Over the years, we've been able to grow our business here consistently in Houston. This year, we were proud to again have been named one of the fastest growing private companies in Houston, and we were listed on the Houston Business Journal's 2020 Fast 100 list. So I want to say, of course, a big thank you to my team and of course our clients that basically help us and support us along the way to enable us to be successful.
Thank you, Øyvind. Then I think we move from Øyvind in Houston to Kenneth in Calgary, from one emigrated wing to another. Hello, Kevin. Øyvind, Kenneth, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, there you are, Kenneth. How are things in Calgary? Skiing season started early this year, or how is it?
Yes, skiing season has started, and we have a little bit of snow coming later this week, and so we are very happy about that.
Good to hear.
Yes.
Yes, please. I guess you have some interesting news to share with us as well.
Yes. Firstly, a little bit about ourselves. My name is Kenneth Steinsvik, and I'm the manager of our Canada office. Today I'm calling in from Calgary. The office was actually established back in 2006, but over the last few years we've seen quite a rapid growth. Locally we serve energy sector, midstreams and pipelines, and also the EPC market. And I want to mention one thing there, Svein Tore. Pre-COVID, we did a lot of local lunch and learns in Calgary for the clients to network, to see the latest Pims features. And we switched those obviously over to webinars. So for those of you that are interested, we have monthly webinars that you can find in our Pims events calendar that Svein Tore mentioned earlier. So the next one will be in January. But today I'm actually going to talk a little bit about how we utilize Pims on pipeline projects. A lot of our clients are in the pipeline sector over here. We'll just jump in a little bit to that. So the one I want to talk to you about today is, it's a giga project, quite complex. you know, it's got 10 APCs and it's over 1,000 kilometers long and lots of boots on the ground, and it's still in construction. So our client was looking for kind of a flexible solution to meet their system requirements, both the ones they were immediately facing, but also having that comfort that they had a platform where they could grow in the future. As they know, as the project progresses, they'll have new needs and stuff like that. So we were lucky to be selected as that vendor, and we started off with document control, you know, moving from the traditional SharePoint environment without much revision control to having a good system that helped, you know, scale up as, you know, hundreds of thousands of documents came in. And then also utilizing our workflows to kind of automate a lot of processes as they needed to do that to manage the scope of this giga project. Later on, we moved in with cost management and risk management and so on as their need comes up. And currently we are working actually with operations to see their needs for long range planning of cost projects and state gate management for their portfolios and stuff like that. So quite interesting. So here is just the last year, and you can see that this is a user chart and product. So you can see how really, you know, we doubled the user count and product count over the last year as the needs came up. So it really reflects in how scalable and flexible Pims is as your kind of platform in the bottom, and then you can enable new products as you need it. So to summarize, by using Pims as the platform, we were able to meet the client's kind of dynamic needs during the project, and it allowed us to easily scale up the solution when we needed to and easily roll out the new product or deployment as the Chevron team referred to them. So it proved to be a great fit, and yeah, it was very a key project system. So it's their day-to-day, they check their email and they check the Pims portal. So a little bit of a good story from here from Calgary. Back to you, Svein Tore.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. Really good to hear that Pims is a great fit to this pipeline project. We actually see the same here in Europe, where this TAP project and also Nord Stream is using Pims very successfully. So that's really good to hear. Then I think we are moving from skiing to surfing, a short 15,000 kilometer leap from Calgary in Canada to Perth in Australia. Good evening, Trevor. Are things down there? Any interesting Pims stories to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. Today I'm going to explain a little bit about our team in Australia and what we've been working on for a little while. And also touch on one of our key iron ore clients here in Australia in Fortescue Metals. So overall, Omega in Australia has been established since 2006. I joined just after we were established. And now we've grown from a small office of 2 back then to now 27, spread across 3 cities, here on the west coast in Perth, as well as over on the east coast in Brisbane, covering obviously the 2 main mining areas and oil and gas here in Perth, and of course our third city in Melbourne, covering what's happening in the Bass Strait down there, oil and gas wise. So over this time, we have diversified our customer base. Obviously, originally being energy focused from Norway, we've grown into the mining sector here quite heavily. We now have about 70-30 split in favour of mining. And we've also worked on some locally developed solutions such as Pims contract management solution, which focuses on really EPC market and quite involved client delivered projects, which I guess we see more often in the mining space. But of course, very recently, we've now established a little bit of a foothold in the renewables market, and we've been provisioning staff for a landmark wind project on the southeast coast. So enough about that. I will just share my screen here and explain a little bit more about this key iron ore client that we have. So Fortescue Metals is one of Australia's largest iron ore producers and probably one of the top 4 iron ore producers in the world. They currently produce about 178 million tonnes per annum of iron ore. There's only a few that really come close to that. Since 2010, we've been working with them delivering a Pims document control. And over that time, we've slowly grown that to expand into the contracts module solution, our Pims completion solution, which everyone's familiar with, and of course, Pims workflow. Now, more recently, we've been seeing a number of users spike, of course, quite rapidly from, I guess we were previously averaging maybe 100 to 200 a month to now over 500 and just probably nearing up to 600. And as we see these other modules of Pims and the amount of integration really extend, we expect that the number of active users will grow alongside that as well. So now, of course, Kenneth was talking about how Pims scales with projects, and over this time we have over 600,000 documents in Pims for this particular client, and of course we expect that to grow as well. And Pims has been able to scale with that along with the projects over the last 10 years. In summary, the integrated modules that the team are utilizing has really helped maximize transparency of what's happening between different projects and within different teams, of course, on the same project. We've enabled the teams to work with a self-service access approach, meaning that people in the contracts team, for example, can easily raise correspondence. They can easily access information about document progress and deliverable status, and of course, cost status along with that. And the idea is that the client aims to execute projects with a single PMO or PCDC team across all the capital projects. And now they're moving towards that, of course, and that means that we can, of course, lower their execution cost, and Pims being a main player in that space. Yes, so that's all for me today, guys. Hopefully everything else ticks along okay, and hopefully I can get into bed quite soon.
Yes, thank you very much, Trevor. Also good to see that Pims is picking up more and more mining projects. That's always nice. I think then we'll move back to Europe and to Copenhagen and see if we are able to get hold of Mr. Håheim. Ståle, are you there?
Things are very well in Copenhagen, Svein Tore. We are doing good here.
Have you any interesting Pims news to share with us?
Yes, I do. I will share a little story here, and hopefully you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Good. So, hello, my name is Ståle Håheim, and I'm heading up the Omega office here in Denmark. We are working with the Pims in all kinds of industries here and projects such as nutrition projects, pharma projects, offshore wind, metro projects, mining projects, and oil and gas projects. Today I'm going to say a few words about the business we have with Copenhagen Offshore Partners and their offshore wind projects. Back in 2019 we signed a Pims with the COP, and COP is a leading and experienced provider of project development, construction management and operational management services to offshore wind projects. Their headquarters is located here in Copenhagen, but they have offices all over the world. So this frame agreement gives them the opportunity to use all Pims modules in the Pims suite. But when we signed a contract with them, the focus was on implementing and utilizing the document control system. So the first project where we implemented Pims was in the Vineyard Wind project in Boston. We rolled out document control there first and trained project members. Soon after, we started to implement risk management, cost management, and also some workflows such as management of change and technical queries. So during the implementation, we performed some customizations to some of the products and the functionality to better fit the offshore wind industry requirements and the project's need. The following two projects was then in Taiwan, Changfang Xidao in 2019 and Xiongning in 2020 this summer. They are both utilizing the document control module and the technical queries. And they are planning to bring on more modules as well. We're also working with a new project coming up in Korea, and that is happening as we are speaking. This picture is showing the location of Changfang Qidao and Xiongning, just outside Taiwan. We are also involved in a lean process together with COP, and the goal is to get offshore wind processes and methods implemented into the various Pims products for COP. In order to support this lean process, we have also established a central Pims database where early stage projects are being created and started from. This is also where you will find best practice documents and procedures together with available and configured Pims modules. And this will ensure that the new projects get off to a good and quick start. So when the projects are being sanctioned and get into execution, they will be moved over to their own and specific server instance somewhere in the world. So obviously we have a good business relationship and cooperation with COP, and we will continue to make a difference and create value for their ongoing and upcoming offshore wind projects. So I guess, Svein Tore, that's about it for me here in Copenhagen. Thank you
very much. It's really nice to see how these renewable projects is picking up speed now, and one thing is from these relatively new players like COP, especially for us, but also the more traditional oil and gas clients are now moving more and more into renewable projects. So it's going to be interesting to follow the market the years to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Then I think we'll move over to the Chief Product Officer here in Norway, and starting off with Jonny.
Thank you, Svein Tore.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Pims in the energy sector, we've seen a continuous growth in the number of active users. As you heard from this tour to various Omega offices around the world, some of the world's largest energy companies are utilizing Pims to manage their projects. And some are also extending their usage to after the project is completed into the operations phase. And in addition to managing oil and gas projects and assets, Pims is now also used when building wind farms and for other renewables projects around the world. And as you heard from Trevor in Australia, also the mining industry is using Pims. Having efficient collaboration between the different stakeholders in the project is a key driver to successful execution of the project. Sharing and collaborating between the internal team members, with the EPC contractor on the project, between the different contractors on the project, and it requires a modern solution. And with Pims, you have the tools that enables this. Pims is cloud-based. It has efficient ways of sharing and distributing documents and data. It has integrated workflows for handling technical queries, variation order requests, managing changes, interface queries, etc. And in close collaboration with you, our clients, we have implemented several improvements to our products lately. And all of these improvements we believe will improve the capabilities for you to have integrated teams and to ensure that the projects are executed according to plan. So let me show you a little bit of what we have here. So with our latest version of Pims Risk Management, you will see is purely web-based. So utilizing the risk management, you basically have all the same features that you had in the previous Windows-based version, such as advanced filtering features. And when navigating to an individual risk, you can do assessments, you can confirm existing assessments, you can register actions and follow up the mitigating actions, etc. It also have the more advanced features available, such as defining lifting structure risks that you want to have available for other parts in the organization. Also, quality management is now available as a pure browser-based application, where you have the full overview of all your quality activities and organized according to a program, if you prefer that. And of course, you can follow up each individual activity from the registration, notification, reporting, and following up each of the observation and findings you had during the audit. Cost management was released as a pure browser-based version earlier this year. It has also the standard features like you know from previous versions with establishing a WS. You have the possibility to define the estimate, follow up and control the different estimates according to WS structure and down to each individual work package. You can do the time phasing, of course, just like you were used to in the previous versions, all possible on the web. And also, of course, like earned value management, contingency management is available. Also, we have some new dashboards available. So this is the dashboard for cost management. As you can see, it has some progress curve, cost curves. It shows milestone trends, etc. The nice thing with this dashboard is also that you have the possibility to navigate in the WS. You can look at basic engineering, for example, and you will see the same dashboard with the basic engineering information, top sides, commissioning, etc. And these dashboards are also becoming available now in our other products. We have here the completion management dashboard, which is tailored for the needs in completion management, like following up the punch status, handover status, etc. These dashboards are also made very configurable in the way that you can pick and choose which items that you want to have included in your dashboard. The other products, as I said, are releasing also these dashboards. Document Control is releasing a dashboard in this monthly release, and the other products will come with their dashboards in a very near future. So basically, as you can see, more or less everything in the Pims for the energy sector is browser-based now. But we're also making native mobile apps. For example, when it comes to completion management, this is highly relevant when you're out there in the field and you need to do field inspections. Here you will see our mobile app on an iPad in this case, where you are out there, you can get an overview of your tags. And if your tags are identified by QR code out in the field, you can just scan that QR code. It will take you directly to the checklist. You can fill it in, register any remarks that you may have. And also if there are any punches identified, you can register the punch directly on this iPad, documented with a photo also. And finally, you can sign off the check sheet directly on the iPad. This app is also functioning when you are offline, disconnected from the internet. So filling in the check sheet, and then when you are offline, and when you get back online, it will automatically synchronize. I also want to talk a little bit about Pims Document Control. Pims Document Control was traditionally used to managing major capital projects, but for some years now, several plants and affiliates and assets around the world is using Pims to manage their documents during operations as well, which allows for a seamless handover from project into operations. And very importantly, we have the features in Pims to manage modification projects with the traditional review process and returning documents back to operations afterwards. Pims also allows for managing multiple projects at the same time, working from the same documents and handling conflicts. Also, Pims Document Control has some new features related to EPCs and other contractors' needs, for example, following up their deliverables to their clients. And also to follow up the deliverables and the collaboration with the construction yard and their suppliers. Automation of delivery of documents from contractor to client is one of the key things that we focus on when continuing improving our Pims document control product. And we believe that this is something that can really make things flow very efficient from contractors to the project owners by using the tools that we have available. We also have a new product released, Pims Preparation Execution System. It is coming out of the Pims hookup solution that which contains digital work processes based on best practices that has been continuously improved over the last 30 years in close cooperation with clients on some highly successful projects. Efficient collaboration with the contractors is essential during the hookup phase. And available in our user community, you will hear Karl Inge Ulveseth, hookup manager on the biggest project offshore Norway the last decade, the Johan Sverdrup project, talk about the hookup phase, including how Pims was used successfully to help them having a successful project. Here you have a short preview of this video. The full video is available on our YouTube channel.
Hello, my name is Karl Inge Ulveseth. I was the hookup manager for Johan Sverdrup Phase 1 development. Totally, we had the plan for more than 2,800,000 offshore hours. So it was a huge concept, and we had to figure out how to do this practically. And the strategy was then to have more than one hookup contractor in order to facilitate these hookup hours offshore. And for that reason, we were looking for a digital arena in order to have control of the hookup work to be performed.
Thank you very much to Karl Inge Ulveseth in Equinor, and also to Johnny for sharing the information there. Also for the innovation that's been done by Johnny and his team. It was interesting to have from the energy market. But also let's now move to the other Chief Product Officer for the construction and infrastructure business, Roger. Hello, Roger in Oslo. Are you with us?
I am.
Very good. Maybe you can shed some light on what's happening in your part of Pims?
Sure. You were asking everyone about skiing weather, and
yeah,
we don't quite have that yet, but it's certainly dark enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yes. Please, have you any interesting Pims news to share with us?
Well, we'll see. We can get started with first the definition of what is Pims 365. So, as Svenn-Tore mentioned, there are two product officers. And Pims 365 is adapted to the Norwegian construction and infrastructure industry. It also doesn't offer customizations on a customer basis. That's not to say that we don't develop the product, we obviously do, but it is not something that we tailor to individual needs. And it's also 100% web-based, cloud-based. It is Pims. I mean, it's the same product essentially, but there are some adaptations both to industry and the delivery method of the product. So what I would like to do is go through sort of the past, the present, and the future in terms of how this product looks. This year has been a year that has predominantly been centered around continuous improvements on existing functionality. Not too many new things in terms of whole new modules, but a huge amount of improvements to existing modules. The product itself came about in 2017, so it's about maturing the product and making sure that what we have just becomes better. It's certainly been busy. We have had a huge amount of growth, almost regardless of what metric you want to measure at year over year. The 5 things I would like to bring out in terms of what we have done in the past few months is asset master functionality. So that's typically not something we see in project environments, but that's more about the operational side of things, or the master side of things, so tags and documents, etc., that are asset-based more than project-based, with a whole range of features surrounding check-in, check-out of the asset, etc. We've recently introduced a lean planning tool. Very excited about that, and we'll be continuing down the path on planning as we move into 2021. Put a fair amount of effort into offline functionality, and that keeps going. Offline functionality is of particular importance in the construction industry and infrastructure, because typically when you have iPad solutions, etc., like Johnny showed, you have a need sometimes to be offline because you don't have any network coverage where you are. Number 6 on this list is maybe a specialty, but it's on-premise cloud, so closed networks. Sounds like a fairly simple thing, but unfortunately it's not. But we have put a fair amount of effort into it, and we have a few installations now on closed networks. That means networks that are not connected to the internet for some reason. And last but not least, the short word there, DB-BIM, so the database BIM. For those who are not aware, or maybe isn't in the construction industry, BIM is the industry standard modeling presentation format. And it's essentially a file format that's used to make sure that various 3D models from various tools can all be displayed into a single model. So what we've done with that is make that into a database structure, which enables us to manipulate the data, query the data, and basically play around with it. To those of our customers who are online in this call, you haven't been able to see much of it quite yet, because it's very much a sort of under the hood type thing. But as we move on to the next slide, you'll see it will come up there again. So in the near future, in addition to keep expanding on the things that we mentioned on the previous slide, like offline and DB-BIM and all of those things, what we're working on right now, and we'll be seeing releases in the next few months, is something called Mvdxml. So that is a validation and quality control format for BIM deliveries. Traditionally, the BIM model is potentially a very huge model with upwards of hundreds of thousands and million plus objects, and that gets supplied to the project from engineering maybe once a week. So there's a vast quality control issue involved in this, and Mvdxml addresses that. We'll continue the growth on possibilities offered by DB-BIM. Recently, we launched the ability to seamlessly move from room to room. We're now working on so-called occlusion trees, so you can see the next rooms through windows, etc. And the list keeps growing on all the things that we want to do in the database BIM. I mentioned lean planning, so 2021 we'll see network planning as a feature. They are 2 different tools, but they will revolve around the same data model and the same concepts. So we hope one day to be able to, maybe not seamlessly, but at least interchange between the planning regimes of lean planning versus network planning. Also working on estimating templates, so that is in the domain of cost control, to facilitate ensuring that new projects, and in particular of use on smaller projects where you don't necessarily spend a huge amount of time quality assuring that you've estimated correctly, we can apply estimating templates to this. And last but not least, I mentioned on the first slide here that Pims 365 is adapted for the Norwegian construction industry and infrastructure. We are also working quite extensively on an international version for the same thing. So again, Pims, but tailored toward specific needs in the construction industry. So the last thing, so I said I want to talk about the past, the present, and the future. So the real future, there are too many things to even, it's almost like I should have just not said anything, because no one mentioned, no one forgotten. But if I need to bring out the 2 major things that I think we'll see on the horizon in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, is, well, in no particular order, peer-to-peer, meaning multiple Pimses speaking together. You have a customer, you have a contractor, they both use Pims, and they want to share data. This is predominantly driven by, we're in an industry that's rapidly digitizing, rapidly getting used to having more professional tools, a huge amount of data at their fingertips. And there's an inherent value in owning that data. So if you create that data, you also want to own it. But having said that, if you're a contractor, do you own the data? I mean, you're not, it's someone else's data as well. So you need to make sure that you have that integration between both parties and all parties, so that you can share and deliver as agreed in a contract that typically would regulate this, but also you retain ownership and your experience database. The second I've listed there is pretty much two concepts that are not normally said in the same sentence, but I chose to do so. So the digital twin is the digitized version of your building, and it comes pretty much down to an asset master. It's slightly more than an asset master, but you could boil it down to that. An enterprise BIM changes the view on who owns the BIM model. So traditionally, the model, the 3D model, belongs to the project, and it's a project tool. The project uses it, and it's there to do with as they see fit. Enterprise BIM turns that on its head, saying no, it's the asset owner that owns the BIM, and it's the asset owner that sets the parameters for what's to what we need to use this BIM for, and how the project should treat the BIM. So if you combine these two, you end up with an asset master that revolves around the BIM model and is the basis for facilities management requirements. So I think these are the two major issues we're going to see in the next couple of years. But yes, feel free to move to the next slide, because much better than me talking about Pims, I'd rather have Jon Morten Moe from Statsbygg say a few wise words on his experiences.
Jeg heter Jon Morten Moe og ansatt I Statsbygg. Jeg har hatt rollen som prosjektleder ferdigstillelse I prosjekt Nytt Nasjonalmuseum. Sakshåndtering. Der en fordel at vi kan konfigurere en saksflyt, så vi kan selv bestemme hvordan saksgangen skal være fra den blir etablert, til den blir behandlet, håndtert, og til slutt godkjent av den rette instansen som har rett til å godkjenne. Man kan registrere saker, blant annet gjennom BIM-vieweren, som gjør at du kan markere en komponent I BIM-en, og dermed henge på en sak der. Og dermed så kan du også finne tak I den, og gjøre noe med den, saksbehandle den, gjennom BIM-en, og eventuelt gjennom nettbrettet ditt eller PC, og du får til enhver tid oppdatert hva som status I saken.
Thank you very much to Jon Morten Moe and to Roger Arnesen for sharing this interesting information from the construction industry. It's really interesting to see how they use the BIM viewer to register information, to do the controls and so on. And of course, we feel that Pims is the perfect BIM integrator, really, where we have the structural information in Pims, but we can present it and gather the information through the viewer. So thank you very much. Then I think we'll move to the next one, which is technology. Finally, the Chief Technology Officer of Omega are allowed to talk a bit as well. So Jan Christian, maybe you can guide us through the cloud and technology.
Yes, thank you. Cloud and technology. Pims is built on a trusted technology, Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft .NET, Google Flutter for native applications, using modern web technology for mobile web applications. Our cloud platform is built on Microsoft Azure. We are a gold partner of Microsoft, and through that partnership, we developed an architecture on the cloud based on the best practices from Microsoft. And now we will show our commitment to information security, control and compliance by being ISO 27001 certified by mid next year. On your right side here, you see the client portal. This is, you have access to this. This is in Omega 365. our portal for you, where you can see the activity on users, the application health, the availability. You can see any incidents, our controls, what we do when we operate and maintain the solution in cloud. Workflows, so all feature requests to Pims, bug reports, they can be gathered here. Could also be in the client's own solution, but we have the possibility and provide you a workflow system here. That was on cloud and technology.
Very good. Good to hear that you have control over the hosted solutions.
Yes.
Both on security and a technology perspective.
Yeah, and we see the benefit when we have end-to-end control, providing the whole solution to our clients, supporting both infrastructure and the application. Then it's easier to have control and apply updates and so on.
Very good.
Yes.
Then I think we'll have a short introduction to the HMS reg. The HMS reg is really a product that was developed together with the municipality of Oslo to control the chain of suppliers and to make that the worker rights gets fair competition and handled professionally. It was formerly a module in the Pims 365, but because of the growth with more than 40 clients now and thousands of users, it has been separated into a separate company, daughter company of Omega, to enable even further growth. So we can check this out on hmsreg.com, or you can also see some presentations on the YouTube channel. Talking about growth, Roger mentioned that we had a growth in pretty much every metric we look at, and that's true. You see some key figures here. Like we have 60,000 users actively logging in. We have altogether we have 1,350 team members in Omega, but out of those 350 are working with Pims. From the graph you see here, the one to the right shows the user growth from May up until now. So here we have like 20-30% growth just this year, so it's really good numbers. And also, if you look at the chart, you see that all the light blue colors is where Omega has offices, and just the last year or two, we have created offices in Guyana. That's more the consultancy business side, but anyway, we have re-established one in Copenhagen. We have in Pau in France, and also we have new offices in Norway, in Trondheim or Stjørdal, and also now in Haugesund to be established. So we like to be close to where the clients are to provide assistance. And also this, we have seen a huge change now in the market, where companies are moving to digitize their processes to be more efficient. And I think actually part of the reason for the growth in Omega is that we have been doing a good job in assisting these companies in this digitalization process. I paid notice to what Carla Williams said in the Sheriff team said, that Omega is not an order taker, but a responsible partner that asks the right questions and involve themselves in the process of helping the client to be more efficient. And really that's where we want to be. We want to be a partner and not just a vendor. So that's really good. And we also see that Pims is the perfect tool for this work. We see this in the figure as well. The whole concept with Pims is that it should act like an integrator, like a hub, where we gather information from various sources, like from engineering, 3D model, and for finance and for planning, but also that on the other side that we get information from the field and from like punch items, field inspection and so on, and that Pims gathers its information, structures it, and presents it to the project organization in an organized manner. So the whole digitalization process fits very good with Pims Academy.
Yes.
And with these words, I think we would like to say thank you everyone that has participated to this webinar, especially for the one that has been contributing with filling our Pims user community with content. I hope you all got inspired by this webinar and that you would like to contribute to the community moving forward. At least we would be thrilled if that was the happen. We are dependent on you to get this community working well. And here you see our links to the different channels.
Yeah. As a wrap up then the links, and also contact at the, for Pims if you want to contribute to new videos or training e-learning courses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. And also, I think we have achieved a lot up until today, but I'm quite convinced that actually the best is yet to come. So
yes.
You just need to stay tuned to these channels, and together we will get better.
Yeah. So youtube.com/omega365, docs.omega365.com, and for this client omega365.com, our academy, which requires a login, contact us. But as Svein Tore said earlier, it's the first part of next year we will start releasing the product courses there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, thank you very much, and stay tuned to our Pims user community. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.